Hey guys, welcome back to Salem, Cellar. 1996. When I think of that year, I'm not thinking of what a great year for movies, but boy, am I wrong. There is a lot of great movies from then. So I'm going to be listing my top 10 movies from 96. But first, make sure you follow me on social media, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to start off this list with one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm sure you guessed it. Yes, it is Scream. Scream is a Wes Craven film starring Neve Campbell, Skeet Ulrich, Drew Barrymore, Jamie Kennedy, who's not in this film. Now, I love this movie so much because it scared the crap out of me when I was in high school. And I think the thing that scared me the most is that you don't know who the killer is. It could be your boyfriend. It could be your best friend. It could be your neighbor. It could be a stranger. You have no idea. Everyone's a suspect. I literally love this movie. It will never get old to me. Every single movie I love, I have almost no complaints except the most recent film, which I'm going to discuss it on a separate video. But yes, Scream will always be one of my horror loves. Next movie that I really love is Fear. Fear starring Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon. Now, it is about a young girl who's in high school who goes to a party with her good friend, Alyssa Milano, and she runs into the dreamy Mark Wahlberg. Yes. So, Mark Wahlberg is smooth, he's handsome, he's like everything we want, except in this movie, he is a psychopath. So this was just really fun for me. It was definitely a role that I wouldn't expect for him, because to me, he's just always like the good guy, the superhero, like the person we want around. And this movie, not so much. I love it. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it unless you have a problem with seeing animals die. Spoiler, her dog gets decapitated by Mark Wahlberg. Pretty awful to say the least. But it is a great film. And, I kind of really want to watch it tonight. I might do that. Next is Frighteners. Frighteners was directed by Peter Jackson, which I did not know that, starring Jake Busey and Michael J. Fox. Now, who does not love a film with Ghost and Michael J. Fox? Like, how can you go wrong there? Next is From Dusk Till Dawn. Dusk Till Dawn is a movie by Quentin Tarantino. I just love everything he does, pretty much. He's amazing. He's also starring in this movie with George Clooney. So they are bank robbing brothers who kidnaps a family and then ends up at the Titty Twister, where they have to meet somebody. And surprise, everyone there is a gross, creepy vampire. Now, these vampires aren't the sparkly kind. They don't have like cute little teeth. They look like beasts. Like, they are scary. They've always scared the crap out of me. So there's a few people in the bar that aren't vampires, and they have to work together to get out of there before they are eaten by these monsters. Salma Hayek is also in this film, but this is a great film. If you haven't seen it and you like vampires, see it immediately. It is a great film. Next is not a horror or sci-fi film. It is one of my favorite Christmas movies. It is Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, he's a dad who is focused on his work. He is just not spending as much time with his family as he needs to. And it's Christmas Eve, and he forgot to buy his son a Turbo Man. So he's on the hunt now to buy one. He runs into Sinbad, who's in the same situation, and it's just such a fun movie. I am a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. I will probably say that constantly. I just love everything about Arnold. This is a movie we watch all year round. My son loves it. He's pumped whenever it's on. It is just a fun movie. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. My next is a movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger's best friend, Sylvester Stallone. It is Daylight. Now, Daylight is one of those movies that, like, as somebody who is a little claustrophobic, like, makes me a little anxious while I watch it, but I love it so much that I just go, you know, it's like, whatever, I'm gonna man up, I'm gonna watch this film. Now, it's about different characters, like, everybody's going through different situations. Like, one lady, I think she's going through a breakup, or, like, you know, she's like, I'm done with this city, I want to get out of here, I want to start a new life. And they get trapped in a tunnel. Like, ugh. As a New Yorker, like, that is definitely one of my fears, going through a tunnel and getting trapped. It is a fun movie from start to finish. Again, if you haven't seen this movie, go see it. It hasn't been on in a while. They used to have this on TV constantly. I haven't seen it in a long time, but look for it and watch it because it's definitely fun. Next is Thinner. Now, Thinner is based off a novel. Now, it's about a man who hits and kills a gypsy woman and then is cursed by her family. Now, I have a love and hate relationship with this movie. Like, I love it, but I hate it. As he's losing this weight and he's like morphing into like this, I don't want to say creature or monster, but it's just gross. Like, it's very skeevy to me. Like, I will watch it, but it's not going to be at the top of my list. But it's definitely a great film of '96. It's a cult classic. I'm sure most of you have seen it. So if you haven't seen it, if you haven't read the book, give it a try. It's not horrible. It's just not one of my favorites. Next is Twister. Now, Twister is starring Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt. Bill Paxton, who's actually named Bill in the movie, he is getting a divorce. He's with his soon-to-be wife. He's going to meet up with his soon-to-be ex-wife to get these divorce papers signed. He's like, you know, I want to start over. I need to move on, sign these papers. So he meets up with Helen Hunt, his ex-wife, and he's greeted by his old team, which they're storm chasers. So they came up with this machine that they throw into a tornado, and then they can measure or track or do something with the tornado. So they have more of a warning once a tornado is about to hit. So, you know, less lives are lost. So they are on a wild ride throughout. Spoiler, he ends up back with Helen Hunt at the end. This one's really fun. It's exciting. You're constantly going. I love this film. Whenever it's on, I watch it. Next is one of my favorite witchy films. I'm sure you can guess. It's The Craft. I actually did a review on The Craft, like the before and, you know, the older one and the newer one. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely give it a watch. But I love The Craft, starring Neve Campbell. Love Neve Campbell. She's also in Scream. This was actually a busy year for her. There was another movie that she was in that was in the '96 list, but I never saw it. But so she was definitely a busy lady in '96. But I love everything about The Craft. I love the witchy vibes. I love the characters. It was just a film as a teenage girl that made me want to get into everything I'm into now. I just love horror. I just love the lifestyle, and this film kind of like pushed me into that direction. It's definitely one of those movies as a teenage girl that most people I feel like can relate to, even if you're not a witch, even if you're not into horror movies. Everybody's going through different crap in their life, and with school, with like the popular boy, the bullies. So it was just a great movie for that time, and it's a great movie now when I rewatch it. The final film is Independence Day, starring Jeff Goldblum, who I love, and Will Smith. It is about an alien invasion. Who does not love aliens? I love aliens. This film was just, it was everything. It was one of those movies that everybody loved. Like, I don't really know anybody who didn't love it. It was action, it was sci-fi, it was just, you know, we win, we kick ass. And I don't just mean United States, I just don't mean, you know, like the world. We join together and we defeat these aliens. Love, 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 love this movie. If you haven't seen it, just go see it. Just do it. I don't know why you haven't. It's such an amazing film. So I hope you enjoyed my list of my top 10 favorite movies from 96. All these movies are really great. I recommend them. I think they're awesome. Let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm very active on Twitter. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be right back.